Welcome back to Marion Harding High School. And hey, week 10, John. So this is a big game. I mean, it's kind of a strange thing. We wouldn't think at the beginning of the year we'd be sitting here week 10 going, we're looking for our first win, and Pleasant's 1-8.
Right.
So it's almost one of those unfortunate battle of the basement. But man, it's a
rivalry
game.
That's right.
And so all the records go out the window.
That's right.
And it's all for pride.
All for pride right now.
And we've seen these games.
End on a high note. We got beautiful weather, perfect night.
This is unprecedented weather.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
It's you couldn't. Norman Rockwell couldn't make it.
Clear Fork?
Yeah,
yeah.
So John, what are we looking for tonight? What do we need to see tonight?
I want to see us play 4 full quarters of football. We have moments that all season, I think every game, because we've done the highlights every game, and you always see sparks of really good football from Harding. I want to see that all the way through the game.
Absolutely, and consistency has really been kind of the name of the game. And we've seen, bright spots where our defense has really done well, and times where our offense kind of loosens up and we throw the ball down the field and makes. We've seen some, like you said, some flashes of greatness. But tonight I know, Pleasant, they control the clock. They control the clock. They love controlling the clock. That's the name of their game, is to try and run the clock out. I was talking to a coach from Guyan.
Okay.
And he said that's the thing that they do well. He said they drive the ball really well.
Okay.
It's them trying to get the ball in the red zone to score. That's what they struggle with.
Who did they beat? Do we know?
I believe it was Winford. It was like week 3, 2 or 3.
Okay, and that's not conference.
That's non-conference, right? So really, they're in a lot of the same kind of place we are right now. So I think you hit the nail around the head. It's about moving forward and that next step ladder. You know, and a lot of the things have happened this year in regards to the coaching and the coaches. And
we've talked about this in class and stuff about how there's no way that can't affect the team. You know, going through the controversy that we started off the season with. Hopefully we get it all ironed out and build on what we've already started.
Correct. So, John, we're going to have a great game coming up here in a couple of minutes as we're celebrating on this awesome weather. We're celebrating all the seniors.
Night. Yep.
And so it's going to be an emotional night anyways. So let's see if they kick it in and they make it happen on the field.
Enjoy the game.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd like to recognize 2 very special student athletes here at Harding High School. Caden Faggs. Caden Faggs was a senior last year and won the April 2022 Fahey Athlete of the Month. Caden is a 2022 graduate of Marion Harding High School. In his senior track season last spring, he helped the Presidents to the MOAC Track Championship for the second year in a row. Caden had a number of highlights in his senior season at Marion Harding. He finished with 3 first-place finishes and 1 second-place finish at the MOAC track meet in May. He also earned Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference Athlete of the Year for his efforts in helping the Presidents to the title. He also scored 4 first-place finishes at the 72nd Marion Night Invitational, including anchoring the 4x400-meter relay team to win the Marion Night Championship for Marion Harding for the first time since 1999. He was also named Athlete of the Meet for his efforts. Caden qualified for the Division I Regional Track Meet in long jump. He was the anchor man on the Division I Regional and state qualifying 4x100-meter relay teams. He is also part of the record-breaking 4x1 team that finished third at the Division I state meet in 2021 in a blazing time of 41.89 seconds. How about another big hand for Caden Fags, the April 2022 Fahey Athlete of the Month. Summers. Taryn, a senior first singles player for the President Netters, helped the Presidents to a fantastic season. She compiled a 25-5 overall record on the season. She was 14-0 in MOAC play and did not lose a single set. She won the first singles title at the Harding Tennis Invitational to kick off the season and won the MOAC tournament at first singles at the conclusion of the MOAC season. She also qualified for the Central District Division I District Tournament for the second straight year, defeating opponents from Tays Valley, Dublin Jerome, and Upper Arlington. She helped the tennis team to a 15-6 overall record, including a 10-2 runner-up finish in the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference. Here to present Taryn with the award for the August 2022 Fahey Athlete of the Month is Amber Emptage from Fahey Bank. Thank you to Fahey Bank for your sponsorship of this award and for your support of Marion County Athletics for over 40 years. How about another hand for August 22 Fahey Athlete of the Month, Taryn Summers. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Harding High School Stadium, located at Grant Middle School, Marion, Ohio, against the Pleasant Spartans. And this is quite an eventful night, being the senior night for Marion Harding. And it is, of course, the last game for the Pleasant Spartans, as they are 1-8, and they will not be advancing to the playoffs this year. And Pleasant will be kicking the ball off to Marion Harding.
Let's go as is tradition. Everybody up for the kickoff.
The kickoff is going to be going deep to a standard formation. Long will likely be receiving the kickoff, depending unless it's some sort of squib. And that it is. Ball's picked up. Taken to the left-hand side, squeezes through, finds a couple gaps, taken down around the 35-yard line. Taken back by Connor Pennington. And Harding's going to be a little bit interesting tonight, a little bit thin on the roster. But that will not be changing the likelihood of the offensive spread. Hopefully Harding will be a little bit more loose as far as the play calling. There could be a lot of potential for some trick plays, some digging deep in that dusty back of the book for some plays to maybe try and open stuff up. Got a double pro set from the shotgun, but it's a belly play. Keith takes the ball up to on the 40-41, and Keith saying during the senior night that he would like to play college football at the next level. And the injury this year really stymied his ability to get on the field and be productive for the middle part of the season, but as the end of the season he's been able to get back on the field. Good to see him back. And of course last year with the season that we had and the team that we had, he was a very productive, key, important cog of that wheel. Ball snapped. Lem Reynolds taken down for no gain. Bringing up a third and manageable.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 5. Correction, 3rd and 4.
Pleasant looks like they're playing a 3-4. 3-4 defense. Again, double pro, snap. Lem Reynolds gets the ball, breaks to the right, finds that first down, and he finds a gap, and he could go all the way, being chased, run down, but he's going to get in the end zone. Lem Reynolds for a touchdown, and for Todd Schneider, I've got palpitations. Boy, that is exactly what we needed from the Presidents to get a good start. And I know that we've had some other starts at the beginning of this year where we've had some great breakouts like that. And then sometimes things happen that don't go our way. But most importantly, you got to start on a good foot, and that's exactly what happened for the Presidents right there. We're going to have a kick from the mayor himself. Hensley kick is up, and it is good. Hensley going on at the next level, desiring to play college soccer and potentially college football as well. Fine kicker, and one thing that we've had the last couple years here of having a great special teams, and we've been very blessed with that. Great kickers. As the next man up will be Jackson Shipley, as he is the punter. And Jordan's going to be doing the kickoff here to the Pleasant Spartans. Well, Harding 7, Pleasant 0. Boy, that was a much quicker score than I had originally anticipated, especially with 3 plays. But we ran the halfback tackle. It appeared it was a halfback tackle, and if not, Lem Reynolds turned it to a halfback tackle, bring it to the right. for a 40-plus yard touchdown. 60-yard plus touchdown, I should say, rather. Pleasant always staying on their toes. They know that Harding has had a wonderful habit of kicking tricky onside kicks. They were hunkered in there like a dog at the candy store, or like me at the candy store for that matter. Ball kicked off, and I believe there was offside. We got a little anxious. False start. Yep. So it's going to be 5 yards further back. Not the most usual and normal type of foul to see, but in high school football you do see this somewhat frequently. You'll see it a couple times a year.
That 5-yard penalty on the Presidents will force it to be kicked from the 30-yard line.
It should not happen again.
One more time, everybody up for the kickoff.
This gives Pleasant, unless it's a super deep kick, Pleasant could potentially get this ball in the middle third of the field, unless Harding makes a good run down the side with their gunners. Making sure everyone's ready. The kick is off. Caught at the 20. Biffed at the 20. And Harding does come down and make a great play. Nice takedown by the gunner. Layden Jones made a great play. Sophomore, 6'6" sophomore. Trip up. Boy, that popcorn fingers really benefited the Presidents in that stage. Gave our time to get down there and knock him down. And the big game play by Pleasant is always controlling the clock. They tried to control the clock. Owen Lowry is in 4th place in the conference with passing yards, though. So they do have the ability to move the ball through the air zone. Stuffed at the line for what appears to be no gain, if not maybe possibly inches. Also, one key player for Pleasant would be Daxton Chase,
No gain, 2nd and 10.
who according to Max Preps is typically one of their key offensive players. 2 wide each side, fake belly, pass to the outside, to no avail.
Pass intended for Jake Trachtenberg, falls incomplete. Justin Long defending on the play.
And again, Owen Lowry, sophomore quarterback from Pleasant. And I tell you what, to be honest, the conference is ripe with young quarterbacks. The next couple years in this conference will have some pretty good quarterback play. It's a little out route, and it appears to be close to a first down. And that's going to be maybe a half a yard short, depending on the spot. 4th and 1. 4th and short one, mind you. And seeing what Pleasant's going to do, of course, you never know with the 1-8 season. Nothing to lose. Big number 3, Brandon Mulvane jogs onto the field. 5'11" senior. It looks like they are going to utilize that size. And a Maryland, no, that's a heavy formation. That's going to be close. And it is a first down for the Spartans. Again, a lot of changes have happened for both these programs throughout the past year or two. Of course, Aaron Cook left the Spartans head coaching job, and now currently coached by Kevin Klein last year or two, pulling off the upset of the Presidents at their place last year, giving them the sufficient points to make the playoffs. Play out to the side. Little mini bubble screen. Knocked down, taken down after a gain of 11. Of course, the Harding Presidents losing their head coach a few days before the beginning of the season, and the kids really bonded together and came together, though frustratingly. Still making the season happen. Speaks to their character more than anything. Pleasant quarterback keep, taken out for a 1-yard loss by sophomore Landon Adams, the man beast child, as some would refer to him as. And again, Harding has some promising athletes coming up. As well. And of course, you know, Pleasant lost their athletic director early in the season. Boy, that was a bad play from the beginning. I don't think, wow. I have no idea what happened there. I think the Pleasant line had no idea the ball was snapped. And that, Pleasant's actually extremely lucky. Something worse didn't happen, like a turnover. The Presidents made that big stop, so now it's making a 3rd and 16? 3rd and 11. Yeah, that's. Well, 3rd and 17, 18, 17. Short pass out, wrapped up, tackled by a gang of Presidents. Going to be definitely 4th down, cannot go for it now, as the Spartans will punt away.
4th and 16.
Keith back to receive, as well as Ross. Both fine athletes, capable of returning one. Semi-rugby style kick, over to Ross. Takes a funky bounce. Poison, and a down the ball at the 20-yard line. It's the old-fashioned touchback. Spot. See how Harding comes out. They utilize some play action here to benefit them, as they had 3 run plays, one for the long touchdown last time they had their fingers on the ball. 6:44 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Presidents. Setting up the same. Shotgun, double. Belly play with lead. Reynolds gets a couple yards. And again, you know, the Presidents of Harding, they've had some very close games at the very beginning of the season and put up a great fight in a lot of their early games. And as some injuries happened, as the season wore on, there were some times where it was difficult, and they put up some tough games, but they just seemingly ran out of gas at some spots. As Trady Keith showing everyone why he is still a great athlete, running down the line, and oh my, dancing like Dion into the end zone for a touchdown. Presidents, I've got palpitations, Todd. And Harding is just gashing the Spartans on the left side of their defense. 2 long touchdown plays in a row, and that could be the mixture and the ingredients necessary of success. As the mayor pops another one through, making it 14-0 Presidents. This is exactly what we needed. And as John and I were talking about in the pregame before, this is exactly what we have seen. We've seen glimpses of greatness coming from the Presidents. And John, tell me what you see so far.
Yeah, it's exactly what we were talking about earlier. They're starting out strong. Let's just hope they can keep this momentum and keep pounding and grinding away. They're doing great. Let's see the 4 quarters of this.
Correct, and that's the thing. We were talking about that at the beginning of the game, the sake of consistency. I'm trying to remember the last time we were up 14-0 on a team this season, and so we've built a good foundation. We've made our bed, and it's going to be up to the Presidents to put them to sleep.
All right, Plexi fans, on your feet, everybody up for the kickoff.
Hoping that the kickoff runs as effective and smooth as the last time post-penalty. The luxury of kicking from the 40.
That's an odd lineup.
Final game senior night.
Right.
Jordan kicks the ball off to near the goal line. And the ball's taken up. Gunners running down the field and a couple blocks, couple tackles.
Lost tackles there.
Ball's taken out to the 30. Sometimes in high school football, sometimes if you kick the ball too deep, that stuff can happen. And your athletes, your gunners, just aren't quite as fast as the next level in NFL that we normally are accustomed to seeing. That players, if you kick it deep, they can get a good steam running all the way back, and stuff like that can happen. So fortunately for the Presidents, we were able to clog some holes. Inside read, belly play for the gain of a couple yards from the Spartans.
Jacob England, the ball carrier. Brought down by Justin Long.
Justin Long, which I believe is leading the league in tackles, at least according to the MOAC page. Spartans trips to the left. Lead play out pattern. And that's what we see. We haven't seen anything in as much of a vertical passing game. Everything's been very short, horizontal, out to bubble screens from Pleasant, which will get you some yards, but that won't gash a team. Good setup. And Pleasant just throwing the ball short to Carver Klein, senior. And again, the players that have given us all 4 years of football, thanks to not only them, but the other boys, girls that play tennis, golf, volleyball, soccer. It takes a lot to be a student athlete today, bouncing all the practices, the games, school. The past couple years with COVID, it's been quite a testament to them. Oh, could have been a holding, and there's that vertical play. The first vertical pass down the field. Kind of went through their field play and didn't see anything, so they went deep and it went right through the fingers. Went right through the fingers and an incomplete pass. So there was our first vertical play that we've seen attempted by Pleasant, and kind of stay in the air for a while. I know it's been quite blustery day. I went out and played some golf, and it was quite windy. But the flags don't seem to be sputtering as much. Taken back. There's another vertical play. Nothing there. Deep to Adam Skoden. Adam Skoden.
4th and 6 for the Spartans.
Used to be in Marion City Schools. In comes Saxon Sharp for his senior night. Done a great job leading a lot of things on the Big Uglies line this year and played some great games, working his heart out, playing it the best he can. It's pleasant. Oh, and that is blocked by the man-child. Landon Adams has blocked the punt, putting Harding in a great position offensively. And folks, I know I said last week was going to be my last game, but I was able to be here tonight, but I am missing my sidekick, Aaron Miller. Mostly because he makes me look like a normal-sized person. Harding again sets up in what has been working so far, and if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Not even a play action, and the ball thrown over the target. Layden Jones was the intended target, but that was a nice vertical pass, just off the mark. Not even a play action. You'd think there'd be a play action somewhere in there. There wasn't. But a good attempt to try and shake things up, keeping the defense honest. What an unbelievable combination of backs you have at disposal. Reynolds on one side and Keith on the other, as Keith is the lead blocker. Oh, and he sets up that beautiful block. Reynolds takes to the side and good enough for a first down. My goodness. It is thunder and lightning back there with Keith and Reynolds. Wondering what could have been, assuming injuries were not the case. Harding up 14-0 over the Spartans. This time the Twins on the left-hand side. As Reynolds makes the hole and Keith has found a way and being patient. A nice gain of 8 or 9 yards. Again, putting the Presidents in a great position, and Pleasant just kind of looks like they're going through the motions and tagging the play rather than being assertive in their defensive structure or tackling. And just really allowing the Presidents to have their way in terms of blocking. Twins back to the left. Have the ability to make some sort of play action, but they keep it in the belly. Glenn Reynolds, and he chugs the legs forward, getting down inside the 5. First and goal, Presidents.
That is a pickup of 11 and a first down, Prexy.
Prexy's in a good position here, and I would anticipate they would probably, if they went all 4 plays here, I would imagine 3 of them would be some sort of run or belly play for the backs. Ball given off to Reynolds. Follows the blocker for no gain, if anything, maybe half-yard loss. Again, beautiful weather tonight, folks. If you were able to come out here this year and enjoy some of the awesome weather, normally at least a few weeks of the year we have torrential rains and terrible weather, but this has been a beautiful season in terms of the weather that we've been blessed with. Second and goal. Ball handed off this time to Keith as he punches forward and is very close, but he is down around the 1-yard line. As a massive pile of humanity conglomerated at the 1, and it looks like it's going to be around the 2. And again, probably anticipating some sort of 4-down try because, again, you have nothing to lose. Let the kids play the game. This time the Twins to the right. And Reynolds dives in the end zone, and that, boys, that was an unusual, I don't understand that, but I really don't know how that's fourth down, but the hand is not part of the body that is a down thing. So maybe it was seen where his knee touched the ground or his elbow touched the ground, but it looked pretty good from up here. So now we are at 4th and goal at the 1-inch line. And they were put in for stopped inside their own 5. But again, I go back to the 3rd down play where it appeared that Lim Reynolds did dive into the end zone unabated. Nonetheless, Pleasant's ball will be around the 3-yard line. And again, Pleasant comes out, shivering their timbers from being so close inside the 5. As the president's smelling blood, and there's why, as the Spartans now are going to be snapping from the 1-yard line. As the student section is going joyously and ruckusly, calling for the defense to make a stop, potentially a safety, taking the snap from the end zone. Of course, a hold is a safety, and that's I tell you what, I don't have the angle for it, so they apparently made it out to the 2-inch line. They somehow made it to the 2-inch line. As the Spartans snapping the ball from the 2-inch line that they made it out to. And an overthrown ball. And of course, the real thing is, this is typically where you're going to have potentially some holds or some penalties. And any hold or penalty by the offensive line will be a safety as well. So any penalty inside the end zone. But this is also going to be tricky for the Spartans, because if they don't get anything here, they are going to have to kick the ball out of this, and they've already had a punt blocked tonight by Landon Adams. So they're trying to get some sort of positive yards, and that is not a jet motion belly play. And the wasted opportunity what appears to be for the Presidents to try and get a safety who, again, Pleasant Spartans somehow made it out to the 2-inch line. Quarterback keep off to the right. And great tackle, form-fit tackle by, I believe, Marquise Long. Beautiful tackle right in the chest. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back for the Harding High School Telecom production.
Through real-world projects with local businesses. These students will obtain Career Pathway Logistics certification, earning 12 credits for graduation. Students may also earn Lean Six Sigma certification, giving them a credentialed advantage in the job market. However, most importantly, logistics offers transferable life skills including communications, economic forecasting, workflow optimization, general management, and financial planning skills that will make them invaluable to any career they pursue. If you're interested in global logistics, don't hesitate. Talk to your guidance counselor or stop in to see Mr.
Community policing has been a field training officer and has been the driving force behind the National Night Out Initiative. Dave is a Marion Harding graduate and also spends his summers assisting the Impact program at the
And we're back at Harding High School Stadium, located in Marion, Ohio, as the Presidents are up 14-0 on the Spartans of Pleasant. I'm Scott Cameron, your lone game commentator. I do not have a horse named Silver. And an unusual jumbo formation, and the pass intended for Brooks Nelson, playing his final game for the Spartans tonight. Pleasant setting up for a 3rd and short. Trips to the left with the back in the field with the quarterback taking it and snap in the shotgun, rolling left, taking a vertical play down the field and caught the ball. That's the first vertical pass by Pleasant, and the receiver is not feeling good coming down. Hopefully just knock the wind out of him as we hope for the safety of all participants in the game this evening. What appears to be Cadence Varner, 5'10", 170 senior, getting up, giving our defense a chance to recoup. And they've taken a couple shots down the field. One was off target, the other one went in and out of the hands. That seems like the Harding came over because of the injury, giving him the space and respect. Seemed like the officials wanted to start the game a little bit quickly, and Pleasant was ready, and the Presidents were not. Trips to the right, back switches side to the strong side, hands off the belly play, broken up the side. Harrison Moore taken down. Margaret takes down for the tackle. Presidents jogging off the field, trying to prevent the penalty of 12 on the field. Rolled back. Lowry takes it forward after the fake pass and whistled dead. 2nd and 5 will be the next play. And the Presidents have not necessarily had bad defensive structure tonight. The Pleasant Spartans just made a couple decent plays, pass catch, moving in short increments, as it has been a relatively peaceful night in terms of the yellow flags. Man in motion, fake jet, looks deep, doesn't see it, brings it down, run over the top, and could not connect. And there was a penalty, and I believe that's going to be a holding. Yes, indeed. We've seen a couple of them on a couple running plays. Officials can't see everything. We have a pretty overhead view, and Pleasant just could not get away from that one. And 10 yards from the spot. That puts Pleasant in a 2nd and Delaware. And 1 man standing, and the 2 will bull rush for the Spartans. And the Spartans pass off to a little bit of the side, and have found a little bit of a vein. Taken down a few yards, but still going to be 3rd and, well, might not be Delaware. It might be more like Waldo now. Trips to the right. Back on the weak side. Looks deep. Vertical pass. And is knocked down and out by Marion Ross, playing his final game tonight, 6'1", 165 senior. Denies the opportunity. And Pleasant's going to have a decision to make. Being 1-8, do they just let the kids play? Or do they punt the ball away? Though it would be a monumental acquisition of yards, they are appearing to go for it at 4th and 18, letting the kids play. Rolling out to the right. No, there's a weak side, and he stood no chance from Nick Hecker as he just bolted in, unmarked, unblocked, weak side, giving the Presidents the ball with a defensive stop. Presidents will take over around the 47-yard line. 45-yard line, my bad. As watching the down marker, not the ball. Great stop by the Presidents after Pleasant apparently made the stops against the Presidents down on the end zone line, the south end of our stadium. Lineup, trips, man in motion, fake to Ross. Ross actually does take the ball. Little shovel forward pass. Ross runs up the field for about a 15-yard gain. You used to see that a lot about 10, 15 years ago, that little forward pass. Again, J.T. Barrett made that very popular. Braxton Miller made that very popular as a Urban Meyer type spread pass forward. Chip Kelly, Urban Meyer, and there you saw it. So, folks, we've seen so many different offenses over this season. We've seen from the 80s to the 90s. Now we have officially seen the late 2000 teens. Ball taken forward for a gain of 3 or 4 yards, a quarterback keep. The impressive offense I've seen in terms of the old style has been Highland and the Great Dane that runs with the ball there, leading the conference in yards. Fine young player, and from Sparta, Ohio. And the Presidents were able to give Highland as much as they could handle for about a half and 3/4, but my goodness, the physical beating, they just wear teams down. Trinity Keith breaks the ball to his sides, give a stiff arm, taken down low, still not down, but it was whistled. Keith gives the Spartans a test, and now is going to put us in a 3rd and manageable short situation. Nice run by Trinity Keith. And I would anticipate the potential of 4-down territory in this situation, though Jordan could potentially make a field goal from here, as we've seen him make spots from here easily, as Lem Reynolds takes to the right side, which has been our strong side, and that has given the Presidents a 1st down signaled by the officials. As the clock continues to run, 7:24 upon the snap and the start of the officials. One thing that Harding has done great defensively tonight has been to really stop the Spartans from having their way offensively, because that's what they like to do, is control the clock. And they've only been able to do that once tonight, and they did waste some clock, but the Presidents were able to stop them. Why is there a – okay. All right. I didn't see a flag. Oh, he threw it on the – he threw it right on the white on the 20. I couldn't see it. Why is he blowing it without the – As my magical kiss of death 10 minutes ago said, that it is a relatively clean, non-yellow flagged game. Gave us a false start. The clock has begun to run. Going back to the bread and butter. Thunder and Lightning in the back. Handed off to Reynolds. Finds a slit, and no! He's tripped up on the shoe. Dove right into Layden Jones there. Hopefully a little gimpy, but it looks like he'll be fine. And if that shoestring was not caught, he would be in the black end zone and not the green grass. So, great stop by Pleasant making that tackle. And here we'd been running up the right side, making those two monumentous touchdowns, and that was a clear open spot in the left-hand side. Thunder Lightning in the background. Sets back. Vertical play to Nick Hecker. Oh! Todd Schneider, I've got palpitations! As the Mare comes on to try and make it a 3-touchdown game, 21-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Hecker with a great catch, great toss by Alex, vertical play, making that happen. Nick Hecker, not only a gentleman and a scholar or a defensive line, but a wide receiver, has a bad snap, and this is going to make things interesting. And like a 6th grader at a middle school dance, the snap was awkward. But that allows us to still have the lead of 20-0. And the potential of maybe how does that play into the rest of the game? We'll have to find out. Would that mean we eventually may have to go for 2? We will find out. Will I stop giving presuppositions of anticipations? We might find out. With 5:55 left in the half. 20-0, the Harding Presidents over the Spartans of Pleasant. And though our roster has thinned and some changes have happened over the last few weeks, nice to see some success from those who stayed. Because, again, those who stay will be champions. Unfortunately, that's Michigan saying, I believe, if I'm... Is anyone here a Michigan fan?
No.
Are you a Michigan fan? You look like a Michigan fan.
Uh-oh.
Again, talking to our fine Telecom crew, which is headed by John Mullins at Harding High School, providing our opportunities for the kids in Marion Harding High School, as the runner is taken down by the gunner around the 15-yard line. And this is all brought to you by John Mullins and the students. The students are here running this. As I'm speaking to them earlier, and they're all running this, I see a couple kids on cameras and someone running the audio.
We even have two new kids today.
We have 2 new kids tonight, yeah.
So this is their first attempt, so they're doing a great job.
And last night, you guys had a choir concert.
Had a choir concert.
So after this play, we'll talk a little bit about some of that, John. Look back and bull rushed and he decides to panically run with the ball, taking
they've
down
got him.
take around 19. So, John, tell us how busy you are.
Well, yeah. Let's see. We did board meeting Monday. We did the choir orchestra concert last night, doing this game tonight. Next week, I think we've got Coach's Corner. That's going to be the wrap-up show. Then we take a little bit of a slowdown, and we'll do some things in class like weather forecasting and some editing tips and strategies.
Which those two things, we've had kids come from this program.
Literally
They're
go into the
doing
profession.
huge things with that right now, yeah.
And so they'll do a little bit of that, and then once we get past, Thanksgiving week, we start up basketball season. And then it's 2 and 3 games a week because we do boys and girls. And then we've got the holidays at Harding, Peanut Push, Christmas Parade.
I heard you're going to be in the Peanut Push. Is that true?
I am not going to be in the Peanut Push because I will be directing Telecom. Now, one year
we could make it happen.
One year we had a Telecom student participate in the Peanut Push and won.
Oh,
Bryce Starner, yeah.
It almost feels like you rigged that. Did you rig that?
I did not rig that, but he was prepared. He did the whole gloves, knee pads, duct tape. He was ready to go.
Well, with his joyous victory, he shall reign.
We still have the plaque in the control room of the
studio.
studio.
There you go. That's right, because once you win, you can't take it away.
That's right.
Unless you sell your gold necklace.
Yeah, our little gold peanut.
Then they will.
Oh,
yeah.
oh wow. That's
Then
quite
somehow
a
they'll take it away.
tackle.
So again, John, I know you're busy, and not only with Telecom stuff, and you do a lot of music stuff. So again, do a lot of great things for the district, and giving these kids an opportunity and allowing them to really show and develop them professionally too.
Yeah, a lot of the things we do, aside from just the technical ins and outs of video production and broadcast, is just learning those soft skills about showing up on time, and because these events start with or without kids. So it's a real testament to them that they're here on time and they get everything operational and stick it out throughout the events. So,
and of course, just looking around here in the room, I saw a couple of these kids last night at the choir concert, and orchestra concert. So you're absolutely right, John. So thanks to you and, of course, the rest of the student staff for being here and making this presentable to you, not only on YouTube, but also on our local television network. And so members of the community, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc., can enjoy this. As Pleasant gets ready to punt the ball on a 4th and 4, at 3:44 left in the half. Could maybe potentially see a fake, and nope, it is a big, tall punt. Poison, get out of the way. The ball will be down around the 32-yard line.
Took a Harding bounce.
This has actually been a relatively fast half.
Yeah, and Harding has been performing very well. As we talked about earlier, just tried to keep that momentum up.
And really, both teams are bread and butter is the run. And so we have had a relatively short half as the clock moves. And again, folks, this beautiful field is enjoyed by so many leagues and everything else, not only in the district but out of the district. And so we're very fortunate to have this. And I know Sean Kearns has worked very hard to make this place what it is, down to the lights, down to the stands. And, of course, everyone looks at the turf and the field, but it's the holistic view of this infrastructure.
Yeah. And a shout-out to the boosters.
Yeah.
For all they do.
Absolutely. They tend to be the unsung heroes on a lot of the stuff that happens inside the district. But as we have Thunder and Lightning set up by the presidents in the backfield, ball handed off to Keith. And they're starting to snuff that out a little bit. I would not be surprised. I mean, it would almost be too telltaling to say it's going to be a play action now.
Right.
but maybe that would have been a good time to do a play action because they're starting to Pleasant's really starting to hound up and get to that C
and this
gap.
is the endurance test that we've been talking about. Can Harding keep up this momentum in the second half?
Correct, because
offsides maybe.
It's going to be a free play.
That looked like a defensive infraction.
False start.
Yep.
I was going to say, because if it's a defensive infraction, it's a free play. Aaron Rodgers is an expert of making that happen at the Big Boy League. Giving the free play. Harding kind of digging themselves a little bit of a hole, making it 3rd and 13. 3rd and 12, around long 12. At some point, with 2:15 left in the game, or 2:15 left in the half, I should say, rather. Do you start running the clock, being 20-0 in the lead, make themselves available to make the nice movement?
Wouldn't it?
That would be nice.
Turnabout.
Nice little tunnel screen. What's going on down here? We had something down here away from the ball. Something happened away from the ball. Two flags, so 2 people saw it. I didn't see a hold. Ooh. And apparently he's doing the cha-cha.
Doggone it.
Basically a chop block.
Going the wrong way.
But we still have the ball with the opportunity to get a first down.
That's right. And read up the clock.
And yeah, exactly. So we still, though we are going the wrong direction, it's still our ball and it's still 3rd down. So we still get a chance to run the clock, run the play. But now we do put ourselves in a little bit of a pickle. We've got to get about 10, 20 yards to be able to punt the ball and make Pleasant have to go pretty much half the field at least. Nice vertical pass, and just over the head. Just over the head of Marquise Long. Yeah, but it was a little tall, good shot down the field, though. And that's one thing we've been really wanting to see from Stokes this year is the ability to make that nice vertical pass. And he's gotten better. He's gotten more comfortable as the season has come along. Looking to next year and what that growth and development might bring. And, we've talked a lot about, Brady Wink having that.
Yeah.
As we saw him grow and develop. His senior year, he just took off with all those kids. And Shipley back to punt. Ooh, and it is a long, but that's the kind of one that'll just wobble.
Kind of a line drive.
It is a line drive. Every time I see kicks like that, I think about that scene on The Patriot where the cannonball takes that guy's head off. Yeah. Pleasant's going to have to move at least half the field with 1:47, and I don't know about a kicker. They have the potential to do field goals, so I don't believe that's the case. So they're going to have to do some sort of scoring here, and of course, if I remember correctly, Pleasant will get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls out to the right, goes back, and
got to get those tackles.
Look, and really kind of danced around Justin Long and is real close, borderline to block in the back, but Pleasant runs a hurry up, trips to the right, ball is snapped, ball taken out horizontally to the side.
Nice.
Kept in bounds, making that clock run, and they're going to have to make a decision whether they're going to call timeout, and they will not. So good for the Presidents. A loss, and the clock keeps running.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't take a timeout. But
I am too. They have them to burn, but quarterback keeper
bounces
to the outside.
And he's off. Okay.
Pushed out of bounds. And really, Pleasant just they capitalized on the confusion from the Presidents.
That's where we defense has to step up. They have to keep that intensity going. You don't want to get tired now.
Like right now, they're kind of standing around and wondering what's going on. Might even potentially next time call timeout if you get in that position, especially first half.
Yeah, we used a timeout yet?
No.
I didn't think so.
No one's used a timeout.
I didn't think so.
So it's been that's what I mean, man. It's
gone fast.
It's been a quick half of football. Back sets up strong Twins and throws out to the side, little out pass.
Okay.
Tripped up around the 5-yard line.
Clock.
And there will be a timeout taken by the Spartans. And this is exactly what we talked about, John. You can kind of sense a little bit of momentum shift that's kind of taking place, and interested to see how it transpires over to the second half.
Yeah, the thing I'd hate to see now is Harding lose the wind in their sails from just a dominating first half.
Literally dominating the entire half. The only thing they did not do was kick an extra point, and arguably they were kept out of the end zone.
Yeah.
And so everything else they've done about as good as you can ask.
Well, and defense, I would say, up to this last series has been very strong.
Right, and so what happened with the quarterback keep run, we were just kind of lost and confused. Instead of calling a timeout, it kind of put us in a pickle, as it looks like.
Because you hate to see them score now and then come out, get the ball in the start of the second half.
And it's going to be a false start.
There you go.
False start, that helps us. But, sometimes it also helps the offense because now they
gives
have
them
some
more
space.
room. Yep.
And like me putting on a pair of khakis from 2013, room is all you need, man. Room is all you need. Looks like they're going to stay with the same play that they had originally called, which is going to be a run play. Unless they do. Ooh, nope.
No, little just toss.
Halfback toss.
Okay.
And again, Pleasant will more than likely. Looks like they will keep the clock running as it's third down. They don't want to give the opportunity to call timeout, and then they score too early, and then Presidents can score. Big play by the Presidents. Quarterback keep bounces out to the side.
Got to get the corner.
And the pursuit angle does not allow him in.
No, pushed out of bounds. Now, might have got enough for a first down, though.
It's going to be close.
8 seconds. Yeah, 1st and 10.
So
well, 1st and goal, rather.
1st and goal, but it's 8 seconds here. They do have 2 timeouts. They got 2 timeouts, so they're going to have 2 plays. They'll have 2 plays at worst. So Harding's going to have to muster up some.
This is where they need to make a stand.
Oh, that should have been a false start.
No flag. I
Nothing
don't
yet.
know that they made it in. No sign.
No sign.
Nobody's
no sign,
given
and
a
the
sign.
clock reads 000s.
They're not saying it's touchdown.
No.
It's nothing.
Oh my!
Who?
Oh
what?
my!
Did they give the signal?
They just gave the signal.
No, I didn't see it. Okay.
They just gave it.
Okay.
Hey, they have a better angle of it
I was
than we do, folks.
Yeah. It's a thankless job, ladies and gentlemen.
It is. Tough calls for the Presidents tonight as
It's certainly at this angle. We didn't want to see that happen, but you know what? Still a strong half for the Presidents.
Yep, so again, the Spartans will receive the ball. Harding's up 20-7. Folks, we're going to take a break. You can watch the band. We will be right back for a Harding High School Telecom production.
Whoa, slow down there, Hot Rod. We know you're in a hurry to get to the historic OK Cafe located at 734 East Center Street, Marion, Ohio. And we know you can't wait to enjoy the great food and beverages at one of the most popular restaurants in town, known for their famous handmade pizzas, subs, calzones, and more. And we know you can't wait to meet up with good friends for the best in live local entertainment, big screen sports action, bike nights with weekly contests and prizes. But what's the hurry? We're open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays, offering dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Oh well, some people just can't wait to get to the OK Cafe.
And we're back here at Harding High School Stadium at Grant Middle School for the second half of the Prexies of Marion Harding versus the Spartans of Marion Pleasant. Quite a ruckus first half, with Marion Harding scoring 2 long touchdowns and a nice vertical pass down the field, missing the extra point on a botched snap, but still it was 20-0. Then the Spartans were able to punch it in the end zone, seemingly the last couple seconds of the first half. And as John and I had talked about earlier, the consistency and seeing how the presence will come out in the second half. The tone will be set with the first possession of defense to see how they're standing up to the task of keeping the Spartans out of the end zone. Set for the second half kickoff. Kick taken around the 2 or 3 yard line. Run out as Nick Hecker's tracking him down and is involved in the gang tackle to bring him down around the 30. Again, Pleasant not really necessarily moving the ball in a fantastic manner in the first half, with the exception of that last drive, mostly taking advantage of the discombobulation of the defense and a long quarterback run. They've had one nice vertical pass. There's a nice long run by the Spartans, but great defensive stop to keep them from having to execute another to get a second set of downs. Again, Pleasant's name and fame to the game is keeping track of the ball and keeping possession of the ball to burn the clock down. But as they are playing from behind, as he rolls out to the weak side, a drag inside was taken. Caught around the 50-yard line. Jones and Barkley on the tackle as Pleasant has the first down on the Harding side of the field. Long jogs off, getting attention and coached. Harding going to be rushing 3. Harding runs that down to a 2-yard gain for the Spartans. Able to run down the sweep. But looking for Pleasant to do some sort of play action vertical pass at some point, as they will be doing. discombobulation again, but this time by both teams, and the ball ends up at 3rd and 3. Harding again setting up to rush 3, but will most certainly probably blitz at some point or clog running gaps. Quarterback keep, as Pleasant has success with that tonight, and its success has driven him to a first down around the 32-yard line. And that has been really the peanut butter and crackers for the Spartans tonight. That quarterback keep has really been hunching the President's defense. And what that does, the quarterback keep, that really freezes our defense unless we have a spy directly on that player. It makes it hard to run and fill gaps. That's why it is so effective at many levels. Nothing open. Saxon runs, can't get to him, and it passes out to the side for a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. Hit out of bounds. Harding's going to have to make some sort of defensive stop here, as it doesn't look like the Spartans are going to be running a whole lot of unsafe plays. They're going to be running a lot of certain plays. Quarterback keeps, sweeps. Ball handed off, belly. Ball taken forward. Looks to be a first down for the Spartans. And we got an injury. And he's not moving. Folks, we're going to take a break here, and we will be right back for a Harding High School Telecom production.
Marion made for over 80 years. Manufacturing has changed. There was a time when people would spend countless hours pushing buttons, pulling levers, and swinging hammers. One day, things began to change. One day, things became smart. Buttons, levers, and hammers became apps, computers, and robots. Manufacturing has changed. Marion Harding High School is proud to be part of that change by offering an advanced manufacturing course. Integrated Production Technologies will introduce you to the exciting career of modern manufacturing through hands-on application of the latest in manufacturing technologies and practices. Don't hesitate with your scheduling. Contact your guidance counselor or Mr. Potcutter in room 249 for more information about launching your manufacturing career. The U.S. Army Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps is one of the largest character development and citizenship programs for youth in the world. Their mission is to promote character and leadership development focused on developing self-confidence, discipline, citizenship, leadership skills, and a sense of responsibility within the individual cadet. Throughout this course, cadets will focus on developing citizenship and patriotism. They will develop self-reliance and responsiveness to all authority, improving the ability to communicate well both orally and in writing. They will develop an appreciation of the importance of physical fitness. They will increase a respect for the role of the U.S. Armed Forces in support of national objectives.
And we're back here, folks, as an injury, but fortunately the young man is able to get up and gingerly, though, walk off the field. As soon as he's safely at the end. And the game shall begin again. Defensively, see what the Presidents were able to fix, potentially to help stymie the offensive surge by the Spartans the second half. And we were really kind of worried about how Pleasant was going to come out in the second half and be able maybe to have their way with the Prexies in terms of consistency. But lo and behold, Pleasant has been inching their way down the field, which I've been informed and told that is their modus operandi. They seem to get into the red zone well, but they have trouble executing and getting touchdowns. Shovel pass forward. Taken down. Nice pass by Scott Harbolt. Making it a 3rd and long for Marion Pleasant. They're going to have to do something here that would get a first down or get closer, because they are probably going to go for it on 4 downs. So they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something here, and Harding has to hold them. Nice bull rush. Steps up in the pocket. Freezes our defender. Oh, a nice tackle from behind. Nice tackle from behind by Long. And, man, my goodness, Lowry's actually somewhat fortunate he held on to the ball. And that's usually how from behind and with the arm, that's how fumbles happen. As certainly 4th and short, they would be going for it, as there's nothing to lose, as expected. Letting the kids play. As we've seen this formation over and over. King Queen, inside sweep. They have run that twice, ladies and gentlemen, and both times it has been extremely successful. Putting pressure on the Presidents now to have their offense move the ball, keep the clock running. This is the ever important extra point. If we could get them to miss one or block one, etc., equaling our dismay. And there we go. All of a sudden, it's a 1-score game. Barkley with the block. And folks, as the season is winding down here, 6:56 left in the 3rd quarter. And, man, John and I were talking about how quickly the game ran the first half. And, my goodness, it is continuing to run. And it's going to be interesting to see what Harding is able to do here. Surely they would be running the ball some. But Pleasant's been lining themselves up to stop some of those gaps that Harding was able to execute. So I would anticipate at some point during this possession, you would see a good old play action belly and some sort of vertical or inside route or an outside route. But either way, there would have to be some sort of play action trying to keep the defense honest. The late arrival of Nate Vaughn, 5'8" senior on the kickoff team. And it is a squib, an ugly kick. Looking for the blocks. Jets up to around the 38-yard line. As the Big Uglies lead the team onto the field and set up a potential possession that would be able to render the Presence back in control and give them back the momentum that they are seeking. 1st and 10 from the 40. As they break the huddle. Waiting for Ross to exit the field. Twins to the left. Thunder and Lightning in the background. Next to the shotgun quarterback. Hecker in motion. Ball handed off to Keith on the sweep. As he gains a 5 yards of forward progress. I would not be surprised to see some sort of play action potentially here. But as we've been setting up with Thunder and Lightning in the backfield, Man in motion again. As that ball's taken out, and it's going to be about 6 inches short. That's going to be real close to a first down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. So it'll be a 3rd and very short. Nice run by Lem Reynolds. But that space did close up quickly, and a violent collision took place before he could get the first down. Pleasant will be rushing 3, but surely take more to clog, and there it comes. As the ball goes forward for Reynolds, spins his way all the way to around the 44-yard line. First down, Presidents. Is what they need to is reestablish the offense, gain control, moving the clock, all the things that are great for the offense, especially right now. 0-9, been a tough season, but here we are with a 7-point lead over the Spartans of Pleasant, Marion Pleasant. Thunder and Lightning, man in motion, fakes. Trinity Keith with the sweep. Is turned around by the shoulders, but gains a good 7 or 8 yards. Anytime you have a gain of 5 yards on a first down or more, that opens up everything for the playbook for the offensive coordinator. And now, I would not be surprised now to see some sort of play action. However, we have Lem Reynolds kind of hobbling off a little bit. Hopefully everything's okay. Maybe just needs a little bit of a breather, stretch something out. Man in motion again. This time it is taken out. Takes a little bit of negative yards, trying to get positive yards out of that. Juan Ruiz had to bounce it out as the right side of that Pleasant push really forced him out with a gain of a yard or 2. The huddle breaks with Hemphill in the backfield with Keith. Hemphill will take the ball and get a nice first down for the Presidents. First down. As we continue to bury that clock and gain offensive yards, assuming no setbacks or penalties would occur, we should be putting ourselves in at least a prime position for a field goal, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Stokes sets up. Still have not seen Reynolds. Still have Hemphill in the backfield as Hemphill will continue to carry the ball and holds on to it for a gain of 5 yards. Stopped by Brooks Nelson from Pleasant. It's always interesting to, after you live in a community for many years, you run across different families and just encounter and do life with them. And I remember when Brooks was a little kid, I'd played sports with his dad. And so for Marion Pleasant, interesting to see that as he's playing his final game tonight. Stokes going to take the ball. As Hemphill continues to be in the backfield. Ross gets the forward pass, the Bill Baby pass, and that's going to yield a first down. Oh, but it's going to be a holding. And that is exactly what we talked about, barring any unforeseen circumstances, and here they are. Going to put us in a position just as we worried from the spot leading to a second and about 16. Second and 15 or 16 or so. Long 16. This could be where you might see, again, a play action or some sort of vertical pass. Ross runs across the field, a nice forward slot. Is able to turn to a positive play. Making it 3rd and long, but still, this is surely going to be now 4-down territory as it stands. And assuming what kind of gain or loss with the plays we have now, it's going to dictate a lot what's going to happen on that 4th down. Harding really taking their time offensively, which is perfectly fine, having that 7-point lead. If we had the extra point, then we would have the 8-point lead, forcing Pleasant, if they scored, they'd have to go for 2 to at least tie. Now they're going to tie, and Harding had to burn a timeout. Looked like Harding was going to be running a pass play there. Folks, we're going to take a little break here for Harding High School Telecom production.
Communications. Here you will learn how to operate video hardware and software, design sets, direct and produce events, and expand your editing capabilities broadcasting online and over our public access television channel. You will learn to produce daily news announcements and share your creations throughout our cable television and social media networks. Finally, Telecom 2 is our year-long class available for upperclassmen who have completed the prerequisite Telecom 1 class. Here you will produce and direct your own broadcast events. You will be put in charge of productions and lead other students through the introductory processes of media production. Many of our telecom graduates have gone on to study broadcast media in college and launched careers as television news and weather personalities.
Being coached is the offense. We're already set up, and maybe giving the officials a little bit of dressing down. The presence was actually both sides waiting for the officials to move, and I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure what's going on here, folks, but looks like the referee's mic has not been functioning tonight, so I don't think they would be able to tell us what's going on, even if they wanted to. And now he's downed it, and we are off. Harding setting up here with a 3rd and long, but surely this would be 4-down territory at this part of the field. Here's a vertical pass that will probably happening as Pleasant was setting up in his zone, putting Alex Stokes in a position, and that defensive line. Now instead of going for it on 4th down, now you're probably punting, and here comes Shipley.
Alex Stokes is sacked on the play.
It appeared to be a cover 3, and we only had 3 wideouts running routes. That's a recipe for disaster. Shipley gives a nice little boot. Nice punt. If that ball can die, and it does not. Unfortunate bounce through the end zone, giving Pleasant the ball in the touchdown position at the 20-yard line. Again, Marion Harding High School being 0-9 this season, starting off the season with a tough overtime loss to Mount Vernon, and then another tough loss in overtime, I believe it. Let's see, what was it? I can't remember who the second game was, but two of the first 3 games this year, tough, close overtime losses. I believe Newark and Mount Vernon. So, had some tough games, and Pleasant won I believe the 3rd week of the season against Winford Royals. As we have a quarterback keeper. Ooh, good collision. Good hit by the Presidents. Ran into a wall. Landon Adams, the man-child. making it 2nd and 6 for the Presidents. And Pleasant really runs to the line quickly, and Harding's got to be ready because, and there's a botched handoff, and it looks like Harding's got the ball. Man, that was quite a lot of orange sticks being thrown for a fumble. I don't know if folks have ever seen those funny cat videos where people throw cucumbers at cats and they lose their mind because they think it's a snake. And that's, people throw, those refs throw those orange things out there, I don't know. I don't know if you throw those orange things out there, rumor is all the ODOT workers want to run. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, 20-13. 20-13. Presidents is big defensive turnover for the Presidents, putting them in a prime position, really putting the pressure on Pleasant. And with the Presidents' run game, assuming, again, any unforeseen circumstances, they've been able to move the ball with the run. Shelby in a dogfight with Ontario as they're announcing the scores. It looks to be a pass, and that's, oh my. That was, oh my. Folks, I know he had it jumbled, and I know he looked like he kept his feet in, but again, they have a better view of it than I do. So here we are with 2nd and 10. Blitzed. And Harding, Stokes gets rid of it. This time, the official has no choice but to call it inbounds. Stokes able to muster the brutality of the Pleasant defensive line. Stays strong, stayed tall, finds the open receiver. Suddenly it's 1st and goal. Pleasant is getting ready to do a preemptive wicket man dance, and now they're on their heels. Ball handed off to Keith. Keith finds an angle and gets it. And waiting for a call. I don't understand what the delay is. Oh my goodness. Are you? Oh my gosh. Folks, there's been some very difficult calls that have been made tonight. As Harding is now there again, there's no option but to call that a touchdown. So the question that John is asking is if you go over the pylon, the ball has to be over the pylon or inside. So it's not where the ball or where the body is, the ball has to be. But it looked as if that ball being in his right hand, he flipped and turned. I thought he was in the pylon. It just took us more time to get into the end zone. Able to put Harding on top by 14. Again, some tough calls down there on that goal line have been made tonight. And all 3 very tight calls have been against or not in the President's favor. And that can be discouraging and disparaging, but the Presidents pushed through on that one. And we're able to get into the end zone. giving us a 14-point lead, 27-13 over Marion Pleasant. As the kickoff team takes the field, and the mayor, after hitting his extra point, will be kicking the ball off. And again, one thing to watch here is we really do kick long distances. Jordan does a great job of really booting the ball down there. It's really about our gunners being able to stay in their lanes and get down there as quickly as possible before the return man has this head of steam. Harding was able to, they really willed themselves to score that point, to score that touchdown. Again, Alex Stokes just staying real strong and tall and had some tough calls about a catch not being in bounds, and we're able to push through that adversity. Great character moment. That is a clear block in the back, not called. Oh, boy, that was about as clear-cut block in the back as you could possibly have right in front of the runner, and no call. Wow. Again, some tough calls again tonight, or no calls by the Presidents, or against the Presidents. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been an official for years. It could be a thankless job, and it's a hard job, but it brings all sorts of challenges. As nice vertical pass by Pleasant right there, gives them a 20 or so yard gain, putting them down inside the Paredes territory around the 30-yard line, 29, 30-yard line. As the band is playing loudly, trying to will on the defense, the clock starts. And there was a, that's, they did call, whoa. Presidents did call timeout on that, and we, John and I were talking about that at the end of the first half, where they got that situation where if they feel themselves defensive struggling, they need to burn the timeout. It's better to burn a timeout with a 14-point lead than to give up a touchdown. And Pleasant, once they break the snap and they get to the line, they are ready to go. So Harding's going to have to adjust and make sure they are defensively set and settled as soon as that ball is put down. So the call needs to be made in. They need to get to the line, and they need to mark up or get their assignments. And this usually has been some sort of sweep play, and as a belly and brought down. Brought down again by Long. Oh, I'm sorry. They said it was Landon Adams. I thought it was Long. And again, see how they run to the line. Twins both sides. Harding kind of still trying to figure out the assignments. That's going to lead some problems, but they have that quarterback keep and whistled down by the man-child, Landon Adams. You know, he even has blonde hair, John. He could almost be He-Man. If he doesn't have a Halloween costume yet. Just under 10 minutes. Cheerleaders throwing out the football, and the footballs to the crowd as they joyously await the feeling of polypropylene in their hands. And it looks like Pleasant's going to have a first down here. And they do. But again, the longer that they keep having to run the ball, the more that the clock will run. And the official just started the clock. That's also why Pleasant is running to the ball. It's an attitude of fervency, which must be matched. Trips to the left as he rolls to the left. And for the corner route, and finds in the end zone. And Pleasant has scored a touchdown. As Rich Barkley gets up a little gingerly. As the ever-important extra point comes back. Again, these extra points, man, they're killer, because if we can stop them here, that means Pleasant has to go for 2 if they score again. And in a game like this with an 0-9 and a 1-8 team, they're going to go for the 2 to try and win, surely. Put through the uprights. Just like that, Pleasant gives a left hook back to Harding's right, and met with an attitude. Pleasant find themselves down 7 with 9:21 left in the fourth quarter. And boy, ladies and gentlemen, again, as the season winds down, as our soccer teams finished their season this week, and our volleyball team finished. A lot of our teams are finishing the fall sports season, but we still do have the winter sports season coming upon us with swimming, bowling, basketball, wrestling, and some really cool things coming off with the Tip-Off Classic at the Marion Fairgrounds. That has not been done for over 25, 30 years. And so bringing that back and starting to rebuild that tradition, that's going to be not only a good thing for our county, but surrounding counties, exposure, etc. And there is a squib kick. Picked up and taken down around the 41. It's going to be a big possession for Harding for 2 reasons. They need to move the ball, and they need to eat the clock. So, big possession for both squads. Honestly, more importantly, for the Spartans, because they're going to have to get the ball back, and they're seeking to equal the score. But Harding is going to be on task with the Thunder and Lightning, I believe, in the backfield once again. Ball given off to Keith as he bounces out. And that's, I don't know if they're calling a hold. That was a very late call of the hold, but interested to see what the call is here. Yep, that's the call. Is holding against the Presidents.
Holding against the Presidents. Those 10 yards are marched off from the spot of the foul. Brings up a 1st and 25.
Good call. It was the right call. Hard hit on Trinity Keith out of bounds. The officials called that as a righteous call. A vertical pass opportunity. Ooh, and that seemed to go right through the hands of Jones. It seemed to, that was an awkward kind of a pass, awkward kind of a throw, awkward kind of an attempt. I mean, it was very Pat Mahomes, Brett Favre, but so it's going to set up for a 2nd and long. needing a plethora of yards to chop this in half. As Hemphill gets the ball to get a positive gain. 30-yard line. I'm kind of surprised they didn't run a tunnel screen or some sort of play to try and gain more than a few yards. But again, with a run, the clock does keep running, so you have that as well. Now we're setting up a true 5 wide. This does lend itself to more of a screen or bubble screen. Oh, there's the tunnel screen, but we're set up. But the tall throw is incomplete. This is going to give Pleasant the ball back around the midfield or so. And they will have sufficient time to try and tie this up. As the penalties on early downs have really plagued the Presidents this half and put them in long situations to where they are going to have to do something differently if Pleasant's going to tie this up. They're going to have to be more disciplined. But a good roll, pick up the ball, be on the 49-yard line, which is around where the first down marker was. So little did we know, all we had to do was just punt the ball and we'd get a first down. I don't think the chains moved, and they didn't have to move. That happens. We aren't perfect here, folks. As they run their own tunnel screen. Cadence Varner, 5'10" senior. Again, Pleasant's running to the line, and this discombobulated defense, and there's that quarterback keep. However, we got to stop there, and they do blow it dead. Scott Harble with a nice stop there. Johnny on the spot. And again, Pleasant's up the line. They are ready to go. Harding's still trying to match up and find their assignments. And how is there not a hold again called? Oh my. I don't know how you missed the hold. Pleasant's going for the lead. Man in motion. Bounces out to the right. And Harding retains the lead by 1. As the staff we could hear nearby was attempting to plead their case for a call, apparently a hold. How I feel oh so terrible that they did not benefit from one of the 9 calls that were missed. I feel so woeful and sorry. Getting Pleasant now. They're gonna they're got to get the ball back, so they can't just live on cloud 9. So Harding is going to have to expect a very hyperly aggressive defense from Pleasant to try and get the ball back. As it looks like Harding is expecting a pooch kick. And it is picked up. And just like that, running out to the 48. Run out to the 48-yard line by Jones. Harding setting up, trying to probably burn as much clock as possible with Thunder and Lightning. Actually, no, Hemphill's in the backfield. Hemphill receives the ball, and he runs forward, and he keeps running. Oh, and he gets tripped up at the 35-yard line. First down, Prexies. After the 18-yard gain by Hemphill, as the cheered crowd riles them on. And Lem Reynolds is walking around the sidelines a little gingerly. Hemphill filling in steadily and without remorse. Ready to receive the ball from the shotgun. Twins to the right. Letting that clock bleed down as low as possible. Hemphill receives the ball. I will say this. I know our crowd is desiring for a late hit. I will say Harding has been tackling the Pleasant people well after the whistle too. So I will give that. They are calling that game fairly from that aspect, in the sense that it's been consistent. So way to be consistent by the ref crew. That was a good job. Not giving in to the cries of the crowd. Man in motion. Handed off to Hemphill. Harding's going to have to do something a little bit outside the box now. It's going to have to come down to some sort of pass. That was if you were going to pass this set of downs, that was probably going to be it. And you could add a nice simple pass, but now it's going to be 3rd and long. And this favors Pleasant unless we can get about 10 yards and put some pressure on a 4th and long or 4th and short. But right now, it's going to be interesting to see what they call playbook-wise. And see what the call is. Not in the area of line holding. See what is called by the officiating crew. This would be a super important call either way. Illegal man downfield. So our player must have broken the line and gone forward. I think he's trying to explain to our coach he was actually a part of the line, so therefore, I don't know. Shipley set up the punt. Nice punt by Shipley. And that's going to be around the 7-yard line. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. And folks, we're setting ourselves up to have a real barn burner here with a little under 5 minutes. Prexy's up by 1. Pleasant going to have the ball, but they're going to have to go 93 yards to either punch it in the end zone or set up some sort of field goal. Again, Pleasant starting in the shadows of their own goalposts. Inside the 10. Ball handed off up the gut for a minimal gain. However, Pleasant does have all 3 timeouts left. But in this point in the game, President's having one's a good opportunity for us to resettle defensively if need be. Pleasant finding themselves running around a little bit. Harding getting their assignments. Ball snapped. Throw is a horizontal throw. And some missed tackles, but just a bunch of dancing going back and forth. Like a mongoose mating dance. And he's taken down with the running clock. Anything we can do to get them inside the field of play and not a first down is to our benefit. It's a big play for them because if they go to 4th down, they're going to have to probably give the ball up again. This close to the end zone. Looking, not finding anything. And the ball bounces out of his hands. And Carver Klein could not hold on to that ball. It was rocketed into his legs, and just like that, what appeared to be a change of events there, it's actually turned around, and Harding made some good stops on defense, made things difficult, had to make catches, and just like that, we're going to receive the ball back, hopefully safely and without events. And there's Yep, there's a false start. That's what I thought too. So I think some of the players for Pleasant were saying that it was Harding, but I could see up here it was definitely Pleasant that jumped. It was Harding getting ready to maybe set up for a short kick. Wanting another. Oh my, that is a unusual kick. It was actually a nice tall kick and took a bounce. Get away from the ball. Mr. Long. Set up on our half of the field, 49-yard line. And with 3:35 left in the game, Harding controls their own destiny. However, Pleasant does have their 3 timeouts. So really, they need to run about 6 plays here, 7 plays to make it safe. That seems like it should be on the Harding side on the 49. That is not where the ball is taken down. But okay. I guess it's just a 50-yard game. Here we go. Ball received by Keith, dances around, Barry Sanders' way to the 49, where we're supposed to be in the first place. So, but most importantly, that clock is running. I'm a little bit surprised Pleasant did not call a timeout there. With Harding not making a bombastious gain. But I will gladly take it for right now. This is definitely the most important play of this down series because this is going to dictate whether they will start using timeouts and whether we make this something we can shut out or we're going to have to white knuckle ourselves. Trinity Keith fumbles the ball. And the ball is recovered by Cameron Rayner, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. And I believe there's an injury. So now it appears Keith is not feeling particularly well. I know Reynolds appeared to be a little shook up as well, so that leads to Barkley and Hemphill as would be the likely ball carriers for the remainder of this game, however it shakes out to be. And again, this is going to be 3rd and 9, folks. So the unfortunate thing about this is that Pleasant did not have to burn a timeout in this situation. But is it basically a timeout? Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Pleasant did take one. They did take a timeout. We didn't get the injury. So they did have to burn one. This is a important play to see what happens with the clock. You throw the ball, you risk not catching it, and the clock stops. And that's an easy call. Easy call. As the cornerback did not even turn around to look for the ball. He ran right into the receiver. It's going to be a President's first down. President's first down. Easiest call. And the referees are discussing this. And now the official is now going to call an unsportsmanlike conduct on their coach. And the coach is giving the official a piece of his mind. He's probably playing with fire because now the words he says could be detrimental to his tenure here for this evening. He gets another one, he could potentially be ejected. Just like that, a 30-yard swing. My goodness. 30-yard swing for the Presidents. 2:26 left in the game. Ahead by 1. And folks, here's the thing. That was a textbook pass interference. He wasn't even looking at the receiver. It was like Ohio State's cornerbacks 5 years ago when you know who was coaching there. And so it's an easy call. But the coach is trying to fight for his team. Ball handed off to Hemphill. Hemphill just needs to stay in bounds as the clock will run, and Pleasant will take a time out. Folks, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just keep on staying here. We're going to stay here as, you know, Harding started 0-9, and this is a rivalry game, and it's lived up to the billing, and it's lived up to the what we thought it was going to look like. So
Yeah,
John, what do you think about this thing here so far? Been exciting?
It's been exciting. A little worried about, from what we talked about in the beginning of the game, how Harding needed to keep the momentum going in their direction and play all 4 quarters. And I think we kind of stalled towards the end of the first half, into the second half, let Pleasant work their way back into the game, and now it's a chess match.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, you got to give it to Pleasant. I mean, they've inched their way back. Yeah. And Harding's, they've thrown some hooks too. Yeah. And Pleasant's been able to respond. And here we are, 2nd and 8. Hemphill receives the ball, gains positive yards, gets down to about the 15, and Pleasant will use their final timeout. So now we're going to be about 3rd and 5 here, John. We got a lot of playbook that we could use at 3rd and 5. What do you think? You thinking a play action pass or run the ball? And
I'm almost afraid of the pass at this point.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We've had some good vertical passes.
Yes, but at this point, I just kind of want them to control the ball as long as they can.
Yep.
Because I know there's only 2 minutes, but our track record isn't that good. And giving them the ball over with either a turnover or loss of down.
My concern is everybody in this stadium knows it's going to Hemphill.
Yeah.
It's going number 14.
Yes.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
So you know, if I'm Pleasant, I'm crashing this.
That's exactly right.
I'm only going to have 1 deep, and I'm going to sell out to stop Hemphill. So
yeah.
If you know that, do you add a wrinkle into it somehow? Maybe there. Oh, there it was. That was a good wrinkle. Oh, it's Hemphill.
Oh, he twisted around. Keep going.
And as the clock is running under 2 minutes, it's going to be 4th and 4. 4th and 5. Oh, they say no gain because he did run after he reconstructed himself and then ran backwards. Yes.
Well, they're letting the clock run.
They're going to let the clock run. I would let the clock run down to 1 and call timeout.
Yes.
And then at that point, you have plenty of time to talk about what you want to do. Field goal or go for it. Here's the thing. First down, you win the game.
That's true.
First down, the game's done. But you kick a field goal, Pleasant gets the ball back. So, assuming we kick the field goal and we make it.
Exactly.
We're going to take a timeout here.
Well, they're going to talk about this.
And then, of course, folks, again, if we kick the field goal, we make it, we're only up 4, and they get the ball back.
Right.
But we take away that field goal option for them. They have to score a touchdown. First down, game's over. If we kick it and miss it, they get the ball from where we kicked it.
I'm gonna lean towards holding on to the ball and try to get the first down. Because you got good field position. I mean, you're gonna put them hopefully.
It looks like they kicking. Jordan's out there. The mayor's out there.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. It's
a coin toss.
It is a coin toss.
I don't know.
You do have a good kicker. That's able to make these. These aren't.
Well, yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem is not the kicking and making it.
Right. The problem is giving the ball back with time on the clock.
Now you give them the ball back with 1:08 left. But they do have to score a touchdown now.
Right.
So there's no field goal option for Pleasant. They have to score a touchdown.
But here they're celebrating a little too early because you got points on the board, but it's not. Defense has to make a stand here, and stranger things have happened.
Absolutely, and but this is again rivalry game, knuckled down to the end. 1:08 left. Harding up by 4, trying to erase that 0 and hang a number in the W column. And Our crowd's fired up. Our fans are fired up.
Oh, no
they
doubt.
sense it now, but Pleasant, they've listen, man, Pleasant has a record.
Right.
That they have a record. They're a powerhouse. They've stumbled on a couple tough years, but they've beaten Harding in some strange ways. So here's what I'm looking down on the sideline. Trinity Keith is done.
Right.
Pennington is not feeling very good. He's
Banged
talking
up.
to the
Yep.
trainer. We have no Lem Reynolds.
Yep.
We're kind of thin right here. Kind of thin right now, and this is going to be a really tight, white-knuckled 108.
Don't give him field position. There you go.
Taken down around the 28-yard line, 29-yard line.
That's all right. Now this is where Harding really has to make a stand.
They gave him the 30, even though he – okay. You know, my mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything
it at all.
As the Big Uglies for Pleasant march onto the field and they line themselves up with trips to the right as they're going to have to go into a hurry-up offense. And
Okay, here
Harding,
we go.
Harding struggled matching up tonight in speed situations. No timeouts.
They got to chase him down.
And
This is
a
where it gets
long
dangerous.
vertical play in. Oh, it's intercepted! Is it intercepted? Is it intercepted?
I think he dropped it. I don't know.
No. They're calling it. No, they're calling it incomplete. They're calling it incomplete. They're calling it incomplete.
I thought he bobbled it on the.
I thought he bobbled it too.
Yeah.
But here's my confusion. They threw the orange stick.
Yeah.
They threw the orange stick. That's why. That's why I'm a little confused. I don't think their call was wrong. It's just confusing because they threw the orange stick.
Right.
Saxon runs, chases him down, and he's going to have to throw it out of bounds. Nice job by the Prexy secondary.
Yeah.
Way to chase him down, Saxon Sharp. Keeping his hands up, making himself a human shield for that side, forcing him to have to throw it out of bounds. And here we are, 3rd and 10.
42 seconds.
42 seconds. So Pleasant's going to have to do it. They have a chance. They have to get a first down here. Just the timing of things. They have to get a first down here. Unless they get a long touchdown.
This is probably the most important play right here.
Yes. Rolls out to the right, being chased. Long play, and it goes through the fingertips. Oh, my goodness!
Okay. What?
Okay.
Did I miss something?
No. Now, I will say, if they call pass interference, that's a bad call. If they call holding, that's the right call. They have to call holding. If it's pass interference, it's garbage. I'm just calling it out. No, that's the wrong call. That's the wrong call. I don't care. I'm just saying it now. It's the wrong call. Holding should have been the call, not pass interference.
Yeah.
Because we did hold them as they were going down the
As he
field.
was going down the field. But by the time the ball was in the air, anybody around him.
Another vertical play and being held. And that's a big play. Big play. And here we go. 26 seconds left. And Pleasant's going to have to set this up. They have players that have to run back. And we should almost go quarters.
Oh, that.
And
No.
Yep. Yep. There's your penalty.
Yeah.
And technically, that means the clock should start as soon as the official blows the whistle. So Harding needs to compose themselves right now and get things ready. They should be making calls right now, and they should be going dime or quarter package, almost a prevent. So here we go. And that's what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, Yeah, so they are doing, yes. Yep. They're doing 3. So this is it, folks. Oh!
That's off tips.
All right, 9 seconds left. 3rd and 19. Okay, deep breath.
Yeah,
Harding
the
has
game's
time
not
to.
over, guys.
Yes, deep breath. Harding has a chance to set up.
Yeah, settle down. They don't need to celebrate yet.
We do not have Randall Cunningham for the Spartans. He's not throwing a 75-yard touchdown pass. So we need to stop everything and anything between the 40 and 30-yard line from happening.
Okay, this is it.
Bull rush. And a long pass. This is going to be the ball game. Thrown down, and it is incomplete. And the Prexies win. The Prexies beat the Spartans of Pleasant 30-26.
Last game of the season, folks.
Last game of the season. Both teams ended up 1-9, but Harding is able to enact their revenge on the Spartans.
Well, I got to tell you that
And the crowd,
they're going
fans
crazy.
are rushing the field. Hopefully everyone is safe and smart.
Yeah, don't be silly now.
Hopefully everyone is safe and smart.
Well, it was a great end to a rough season for our presidents.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
I expected nothing less from this game.
Right.
It lived up to the billing.
Yep.
I mean, how many times do people be like, "Oh man, this 1-8 and 0-9 game is going to be awesome," but it was.
It was. I mean, there at the end. I mean, it would have been nicer, I think, if Harding could have maintained that 3-score lead.
Yes, absolutely. But you know what we also get to do?
Ring the
we
bell.
get to ring the bell.
There you go.
So
You
we're
got a
going to.
shot. I don't know if I can get it from here. There it
We're
is.
going to zoom that in here, John.
Yep, I got it.
Are you
Good
still
for them.
recording on that?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
One of the great traditions.
Good on them, man.
Yeah, we get to ring that home bell, boys.
They've been waiting all season for that.
So, good for us. Again, nice performance by both teams. Were you not entertained?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I was worried there. I got to be honest.
I know.
I was worried there. A few of the calls
we're tough.
We're tough. We heard some colorful language from next door with the
Yes.
other coaches. And you know what? It's football. It's high school football. You never know what's going to happen. And we're just happy to bring these games to our viewing public. And like I say, been a heck of a season, but we ended on a high note, and you couldn't ask for anything more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in terms of psyche and moving forward with the program, this does wonders.
Yes.
So good for the Harding Presidents, coming out again victorious tonight, 30-26 over the Marion Pleasant Spartans. And folks, thanks for having us this season. Thanks for sticking around and watching the games. And John, thanks for having me. And thanks again for Aaron Miller doing the games with us.
Absolutely.
And so, folks, we will see you come basketball season, and of course, in next football season. And until then, have a good evening, and God bless.